it's Dustin. I hope you're having a good night. Or a peaceful one, at least. My cat is making so much noise. I'm pretty sure I just heard her run into a wall. Or something. But we're gonna try to ignore her so I can film this video. She keeps coming in to try and knock over my tripod. So I thought tonight it would be fun if we did a little book talk, show and tell type of thing. I wanted to do a top-down view, but this tripod that I bought is wonky as fuck. I genuinely cannot, for the life of me, get it to point down and still stay standing. Its balance is terrible, and the legs have no grip. So I don't know. So I've got a little pointer here, and maybe we can still look at some of the books. They're all from my favorite video game, World of Warcraft. These ones are. I own a lot of books. But these ones are the ones I've been reading right now, just because it's one of my favorite worlds to live in. So I thought we could start with something a little realistic. There's a World of Warcraft cookbook, and cooking is another one of my favorite things. I've never cooked anything out of this book, but this is what it looks like. This would be so much easier top down, but as you can see, it says World of Warcraft, the official cookbook by Chelsea Monroe Castle. And it looks like on the front there's some sort of turkey or chicken, something that just came out of the oven. And on the back, there's a whole backside. It says, I'll read it to you a bit. I wish you could see it at the same time, but you'll have to bear with me. It says, prepare for a feast fit for a war chief with World of Warcraft, the official cookbook. A compendium of sweet and savory recipes inspired by the hit game from Blizzard Entertainment. Presenting delicacies favored by the Horde and the Alliance alike, this authorized cookbook teaches apprentice chefs how to conjure up a menu of food and drink from across the realm of Azeroth. Featuring food pairings for each dish, ideas for creating your own Azerothian feasts, and tips on adapting meals to specific diets. This otherworldly culinary guide offers something for everyone. It says, each chapter features dishes at a variety of skill levels for a total of more than 100 easy-to-follow recipes for food and brews. And on the back here, it looks like there's some more photos. Looks like a cake. This looks like soup of some kind, but I'm not really sure. This also looks like a stew, and this looks like bread or something like that. I'm not sure. But I thought we could maybe flip through it together. Here on the first page, or pages, I have to hide my face a little bit to show you. Hopefully you can see and hear me at the same time. It looks like some undead or forsaken and some humans in the background. And then it says, again, World of Warcraft, the official cookbook. And then there's a table of contents with all of the different recipes. And I imagine this goes on for another page. Oh, no, but there is a note from the author. And it says, the difficulty with creating real recipes for fictional dishes lies in the world building. Sometimes a world is not rich enough, not fully imagined enough, to provide adequate details about the foods. In those cases, a stew is just a stew, and bread is just plain old boring bread, no matter how sustaining. This right here is a Pandaren. It looks like drinking some beer. This page says, cooking Azerothian foods. And then there's also dietary restrictions, such as adapting to vegetarian diets and adapting to gluten-free diets. There's another picture of an orc. That's a specific orc. I want to say, I'm not sure. Doomhammer, maybe? I can't remember. He looks very menacing, though. Scary guy with his little wolf friend. Looks all cute with its armor and his big axe, I'm assuming, and his ponytail and his shoulder pads and gauntlets. It's very nice. Very nice artwork. The first section is about spices and basics. So this is ancient Pandaren spices. And I imagine that these are heavily influenced by Asian spices. It uses fennel seeds, cinnamon, star anise, cloves, and cardamom. There's one for autumnal herbs over here, and one for holiday spices over here. I really want to try the holiday spices one. I tend to cook the most during the colder seasons. The next section is on sides, and it says, the way of the nibble. There's boiled clams, buzzard bites, which I'm assuming are like chicken nuggets. It looks like it's made out of ground turkey, though. Looks yummy. Candied sweet potatoes. This would be something really good for the holidays. Crab cakes. Cranberry chutney. Crispy bat wings, which look like chicken wings. Fell eggs and ham. Basically deviled eggs. Herb baked eggs. Honey spiced lichen. It's basically kale leaves. I don't know how good that would be. They look like they're just flattened kale, probably with some salt and seasoning on them. Kind of boring. Sauteed carrots. Sliced zangar buttons, which are basically mushrooms. I'm trying to find some of the more interesting ones. The next section is on bread. As you can see by the photo, lots of pastries. This section's kind of dull, I imagine, because it's just bread. Brewfest, which is a holiday in game. They're pretzels, essential Brewfest pretzels. Those would be yummy. I love a pretzel. Then there's a cheddar beer dip to go with the pretzels. Calderai pine nut bread, which is basically elves, night elves, a pine nut bread made by night elves. Red bean buns, again, probably Asian influence. There's a lot of red bean used in those foods. Sweet potato bread, that looks fucking delicious. Does that not look fire? That looks fire. I would eat the shit out of that. The next section I'm very partial to is soups and stews. I want to make some of these. There's a bean soup. Clam chowder, which I would love. I'm a whore for seafood. And soup. Dragon breath chili. Looks kind of nice. Probably spicy with a name like Dragon Breath. Golden carp consomme. I don't know what that is. 4 ounces matzo ball mix. 32 ounces fish broth. 2 shallots. Half cup chopped carrots. 1 to 2 cloves garlic chopped. Several slices fresh ginger. 1 egg. several threads of saffron, and scallions for garnish. Spiced blossom soup. This looks beautiful. I have no idea if it would taste good or not, but it looks stunning. Isn't that stunning? Steaming chicken soup. Goat noodles. This one's iconic. It's called Westfall stew. And it looks like a stew. But it's from this zone in the game called Westfall. And it's very much so farm country and homelessness and hard times and eating hearty foods and farmers. And it's beautiful. I love it. It's very realistic. Wildfowl ginseng soup, which is probably good. And then there's entrees, the main course, which I think I'll leave the rest of the book for you to look at if you ever want to. World of Warcraft, the official cookbook by Chelsea Monroe Castle. I also wanted to show you, I have some novels from the World of Warcraft franchise that I've been reading. Some of them I have not read yet. But I thought I could show you the books and maybe read the back portions of them to you or something. Which one do I want to show you first? Maybe we'll go in chronological order. So, first, in chronological order, is a 3-book series called The War of the Ancients trilogy. It's set very far in the past of the game. Stuff that happened prior to the game's timeline. The first book is called The Well of Eternity. Where's my pointer? It's called The Well of Eternity, and it's by Richard A. Knack. I think his name is said Knack. And again, The War of the Ancients trilogy from World of Warcraft. And he wrote all 3 books in the trilogy. The first one says, many months have passed since the cataclysmic battle of Mount Hyjal, where the demonic Burning Legion was banished from Azeroth forever. But now, a mysterious energy rift within the mountains of Kalimdor propels 3 former warriors into the distant past, a time long before orcs, humans, or even high elves roamed the land. A time when the dark titan, Sargeras, and his demon pawns persuaded Queen Azshara and her highborn to cleanse Azeroth of its lesser races. A time when the dragon aspects were at the height of their power, unaware that one of their own would soon usher in an age of darkness that would engulf the world. It's such a good series. I'm not a big fan of the author's writing style throughout all of it, but I love the story itself, so I really liked reading it. I've read all 3 of these in this trilogy. This here on the front is an elf. Not a high elf, though. I think they're like maybe the Nightborn, or this might be prior to the Nightborn. might just be night elves. I can't remember. It's been a minute. The second book in the War of the Ancients trilogy is called The Demon Soul. In this book, the Burning Legion has come. Led by the mighty Archimond, scores of demonic soldiers now march across the lands of Kalimdor, leaving a trail of death and devastation in their wake. At the heart of the fiery invasion stands the mystic Well of Eternity, once the source of the Night Elves' arcane power. But now, the well's energies have been defiled and twisted, for Queen Azshara and her highborn will stop at nothing to commune with their newfound god, the fiery lord of the Burning Legion, Sargeras. And I don't know who this is. It's either Tyrande or Queen Azshara. It's one of the elves, one of the elf women. She's beautiful, though. And the third book in the series is called The Sundering. The Sundering. The Sundering. And this looks like Illidan. He's a demon hunter. Very, very iconic anti-hero from the story. I wouldn't call him a villain. Definitely an anti-hero. He's got shitty methods, but heart's in the right place usually. I think. I mean, maybe not in the right place, but he's trying. It says, the hour of wrath draws near. The valiant night elves have been shattered by the loss of their beloved general. The black dragon Neltharion has claimed the demon soul and scattered the mighty dragonflights to the winds. Above all, the demon lord Archimond has led the Burning Legion to the very brink of victory over Kalimdor. As the land and its denizens reel from this unstoppable evil, a terror beyond all reckoning draws even ever nearer from the Well of Eternity's depths. If I could read, this would be going very well. The next book that I would like to show you is iconic. It's by Christy Golden, and it is called Arthas, Rise of the Lich King. Arthas is this man right here. He is such an iconic character from the game and from the story. A really sad tale, a really sad one. I'll read you the back. It says, his evil is legend, lord of the undead scourge, wielder of the rune blade Frostmourne, an enemy of the free peoples of Azeroth. The Lich King is an entity of incalculable power and unparalleled malice, his icy soul utterly consumed by his plans to destroy all life on Azeroth. But it was not always so. Long before his soul was fused with that of the orc shaman Ner'zhul, the Lich King was Arthas Menethil, crown prince of Lordaeron and faithful paladin of the Silver Hand. So the whole book is basically about Arthas's fall from Prince of Lordaeron and subsequent rise to power as the Lich King. It's a really good book. So the next 3 books aren't a trilogy, they're all single books, but they're about my favorite characters. So the first of which is World of Warcraft, Jaina Proudmoore, Tides of War. Jaina Proudmoore is one of my favorite characters of all time. In any book series, any game, anything. I just love her. It says, the ashes of the cataclysm have settled across Azeroth's disparate kingdoms. As the broken world recovers from the disaster, the renowned sorceress Lady Jaina Proudmoore continues her long struggle to mend relationships between the Horde and the Alliance. Yet of late, escalating tensions have pushed the two factions closer to open war, threatening to destroy what little stability remains in the world of Warcraft. My cat's making noises. Sorry if you can hear her. So this book is essentially about Jaina's beloved city, Theramore, and Garrosh Hellscream, the Horde's war chief, and basically there's an invasion of Theramore. It goes very badly. The next book is about another all-time favorite character of mine, and it is simply called Sylvanas, which is her name. She is was an elf, but she died and was raised again as a banshee by Arthas Menethil, the Lich King. The back says, "I told you before, we wish you to join us willingly. I know you have empathy and compassion." This is Sylvanas speaking. "That has been a weakness for you, but also a strength. So I will tell you how it was that I came to be the jailer's partner, and why I think you should be too. I will share with you things I have shared with no one before. It costs Sylvanas nothing. Anduin would serve, or he would be used. Either way, any words spoken within these dark halls would never be shared with another mortal soul, not when her victory was so close at hand." So this book is essentially Sylvanas telling her life story to Anduin as he's held captive. Anduin is the King of Stormwind, or former King of Stormwind. I kind of went out of order, because I think this book is about Battle for Azeroth, one of the game's expansions, and this book would come before and after the Sylvanas book. The Sylvanas book goes back in time quite a way. But this book is called Before the Storm. A lot of these are by the same author, Christy Golden. She writes a lot of World of Warcraft books. And this one says on the inside, "Azeroth is dying. The Horde and the Alliance defeated the demonic Burning Legion, but a dire catastrophe is unfolding deep below the surface of the world. There is a mortal wound in the heart of Azeroth, struck by the sword of the fallen titan Sargeras in a final act of cruelty. For Anduin Wrynn, King of Stormwind, and Sylvanas Windrunner, War Chief of the Horde and Queen of the Forsaken, there is little time to rebuild what remains, and even less to mourn what was lost. Azeroth's devastating wound has revealed a mysterious material known as azerite. In the right hands, this strange golden substance is capable of incredible feats of creation. In the wrong ones, it could bring forth unthinkable destruction." And so this is basically about what goes on before the war called the Battle for Azeroth takes place. So yeah, those are some of my favorite books. 3 of those I have not read yet, but I'm working on it. They're really quite amazing. I love the series. I love the game. I love the story. I love the lore. It's wonderful. And I do some writing of my own, and it's something that I would love to do, is make an epic tale of my own someday. But yeah, I thought I would share that with you guys. I wish I could have done a top-down approach so you could see the books the whole time, but it is what it is. And I think I'm going to end the video here. It's been about 30 So why don't we pose with the book? We'll pose with the one I'm reading currently. Sylvanas. There we go, like that. That'll do. Okay. I love y'all very, very much. I got the microphone positioned in a better place. It's like down here where my mouth would be. However, it's a teeny tiny mic, so I have to get very, very close. Hopefully this audio sounds okay. The other video was a test. This is kind of a test. Yeah, I don't know. Love ya, and I will see you later.